another episode of the Elite Real Estate Podcast, where real estate meets mindset, marketing, and momentum. I'm your host, Jimmy Nelson, and today we are coming to you live from the Royal Oath Insurance Group right here in Clinton Township, Michigan. Big shout out to the entire team here. Royal Oath is more than just an insurance agent. They're your promise keepers. Whether it's auto, home, business, life, or health insurance, they're here to protect what matters to you most. You can check them out at royaloathinsurance.com or give them a call at 586-238-3535. And, of course, today's episode is brought to you in part by our friends at Connection, the CRM built for closers. If you're a real estate agent, entrepreneur, or small business owner looking to automate, follow up, and close more deals and stay top of mind, then Connection is your secret weapon. Go to yourconnection.com and take control of your pipeline today. Now, whether you're tuning in live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, or X, catching the replay on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you stream, we're glad you're here. Do me a favor, hit that like button, drop a comment, and share this with a friend, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. All right, guys, let's get locked in. We've got a powerhouse show lined up today, and if you're in business or real estate or just building something big, this one is for you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Elite Real Estate Podcast on another fabulous Friday morning, and thank you guys for joining us. I see our breakfast clubbers are piling in here on the call and listening there, and then we're getting some people viewing online. So I'm excited because I got another in-house guest. You guys haven't seen this face before, but Evan Bassy, welcome in, my man. How are you?
Thank you, Jimmy. Good morning, man. Happy to be here.
I love it, man. I love it. And one of the things I was excited to get you on is your energy, man.
Really?
Like, you bring a ton of energy. Like, when we did Spring Showdown, you rolled in with the robe and the headset on and the buffs and the whole thing. You had it all. You had it all moving, man. So it was impressive. It was impressive. How did you like Spring Showdown?
Loved it. I think it was a great event. A lot of good people there. A lot of good energy. I mean, it doesn't matter how young or how long you've been in the business. You can always learn something.
Yeah.
But it was great there, man. I just enjoyed myself big time.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. But yeah, man, you brought a lot of energy, man, and swag, and you had it all, brother. I appreciate the effort, man. It was good.
Yeah. No, we only get one time to make a good first impression, So I rolled in there with my 3-piece suit, as I normally do to these listing appointments, and and the Versace robe was extra, but yeah.
The Versace robe specifically was a little extra, but it worked, man. It worked.
Sure did.
But one of the things is, so how long have you been in the business?
I'm entering my 5th year here in real estate.
Okay. And how did you get into real estate?
So believe it or not, my story's a little bit different than everybody. I got in real estate because I just wanted to invest in real estate. And at the time I was going to Oakland University. You're very familiar.
Yep. And
I'm like, man, there's got to be a way where I can actually get into investing in real estate, looking at rental properties. So at 19, I'm like, you know what I can do? I can take on the world. I'm going to get licensed. All these houses I'm driving by each day, I have the ability to go in and look at these houses. At 19 years of age, I thought I was the king of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never had.
Now you're 37.
Yeah. No. 26. I had no expectations, by the way, to be a big producer in real estate. Again, I just got my license so I could have access to the MLS.
Yeah.
And look at places. And if it great. But we'll get into it. But, long story short, I'm like, wait a second. I can help people buy and sell, use that capital to go and reinvest it in real estate. Like, this is a beautiful model.
Yeah.
Doesn't get better.
Now, let me ask you this.
Huh?
That's not what was on my mind at 19.
Oh.
Like, I kind of wish it was now. You know what I mean? Like, I look back on a lot of things at 53. I look back at 19 and go, man, wow, things could have been really different. Where did that come from?
Yeah, I've always been an old soul. I always think largely ahead of time, and the whole reason I was at Oakland University was to get, my finance and wealth management degree. I'm like, if I can just fast forward my life 10 years, I mean, I'm not at 20. I wasn't thinking about, like you said, the things other 20-year-olds are thinking about. And I just knew that if I could set my life up the way I want it, like the half of my life, I can grind really hard. And the other half, I can just do what I want. But I don't know if that's really going to happen later down the road. Because I love working, man. I'm a workhorse. So
yeah. Well, that's the thing. And so at Spring Showdown, you were on the phone like before the event, like talking to clients, making some moves and doing your thing.
Yeah, same day. And I think it's just a habit of routine. I like being on the phone, got me comfortable. I was the youngest guy there. And, there's a lot of nerves going around and stuff like that. But I'm like, I'm going to come in here, normal day for me. And then I'm going to step in this ring and Showdown. And the reason I wore the headset, by the way, is because it feels so familiar to me.
Yeah.
I wear it every day. It calmed me down, got me in the rhythm,
I love that.
So
I love that. So you're a big dialer.
Yeah. Big guy of prospecting. Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So what does that schedule look like?
Great question, Jimmy. And when I got into real estate too, like I didn't know you could buy leads. I didn't know there's online forums and all this stuff going on. All I know, and I think the beauty about me getting in real estate was, all I had was I didn't know what I know now. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a double-edged sword. All I knew is, hey, I have a phone book and I've got the ability to talk to people, the gift of gab. And my schedule is from 8 to 10:30 a.m. It's just all new lead gen, all new people, new conversations. I don't want to talk to anybody else. No closings, no inspections, just conversations.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so are you specifically targeting then like FSBOs, expireds at that point, or?
I do a lot of it. I mean, I first started off with for sale by owners. That was like every day for sale by owner. And obviously there's only so many, right?
Right.
Which is a good problem because after I meet them, they come list with me. But
unless I get them first.
That's right. Yeah. So for FSBOs, expireds, we've been doing a lot of circle dialing around other listings of ours, which is really working out well.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you get a record breaking sale in the subdivision. They already know you before you call.
Right.
So that's always exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, that I believe in the just listed, just sold calling.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think that's one of the things that a lot of agents miss.
Right.
Is if I get a listing in a neighborhood, it's almost like my duty to call the rest of that neighborhood to get more, to show them what I can do.
For sure. And I tell agents all the time, it's like, hey, I'm coming in with authority. I'm not just calling and saying, hey, this house sold in your neighborhood. I'm saying, listen, I sold your house in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Do you want to know your home's value? Do you want to see how we actually accomplish that? Like when you're coming in with like a level of like, experience or like, hey, I've done this. It's a lot better than coming in very cold and saying, oh, are you thinking about selling? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
No-brainer. Whether it's your sale or not.
Yeah, exactly. And whether you're on the buy or list side.
Yes.
Because on the buy side, I'm selling the house.
Mm-hmm.
The listing agent really isn't selling the house, right?
Correct.
I'm selling it to my client that I'm bringing in there.
Right.
So I sold the house in that neighborhood. I just was calling. So I'll give this trade secret, but I call FSBOs and say, hey, not sure if you know, but we just recently sold a home in your neighborhood. Have you or anybody else thought about selling? And they're like, my house is for sale. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't even know your house was for sale. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I literally got it pulled up on the screen, right?
Yeah. I like that though,
Yeah, because it throws them off. It's that pattern interrupt.
Of course. Yes. And that's very important. I'm glad you brought that word up because I didn't know early on that was one of my keys to my success was these pattern interrupts, talking differently than everybody, interrupting the normal conversation these guys have on a 30 to 40 time day basis. You can't sound the same,
Right.
Yeah.
And Mike Ferry scripts, right? Like everybody's got them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they work.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously the guy's very successful and there's a lot of successful agents built off of that. But to your point, like we all sound the same at some point. It's
Correct.
like, you want me to show you how I do things differently? That's the same thing the last guy said.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But you get your own flavor. You have your own flavor. I have my own flavor, and that's what makes us different. And honestly, a lot of people, and I think another skill set you have to have, and I know you already have this, is that you got to have the ability to read that person.
Oh yeah.
Who am I talking to? Am I talking to an engineer who wants to see numbers? Am I talking to a guy who is a salesman as well, and he wants to feel the emotional side of this as well? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, I love it, man. And where does this drive come from? Like, where does this, I know you said like, if I work hard the first half, then I can take it easy the second half.
Yeah.
You're never going to take it easy, man. That's just not in you. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
It may be expanded at some point into something different, not different than real estate, but something different inside of real estate. You know what I mean? Like, but you're never going to, I can see it in you that you're never going to dial it down.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've always been obsessed with wanting to be the best of myself. And it sounds cliche, but the reality is I've been always obsessed with finance. I've always been obsessed with real estate. I've been obsessed about what can I do to push myself further, and that's all I think about on a daily basis. You know what I mean? It's, I just want better for everybody, for myself, everything.
Yeah.
And again, those are, private to me and things like that, but I'm just one driven person. And honestly too, like, remember I came from a family who, not a lot of people went to school and things like that, right? And they're always like, manual labor.
Yeah.
And my dad always said, work with your head, not your hands. So this is all new to me. So if I didn't feel that, like, my level of accomplishment, instead of actually using my hands and stuff, it's like, dang, this better work for me. It's like I'm driven by inspiration, but I'm also driven by that lack of, or that fear of, hey, what is this not going to happen?
Yeah.
If I don't feel a level of production on a daily basis, Jimmy, I will go crazy. And that could be for different things for different people.
Yeah.
Hey, am I going to get one listing appointment today, or am I going to talk to 5 people? But you have to celebrate it. You need to, at the end of the day, feel good about yourself. And that is something I always strive for on a daily basis. Like I have my own measures of accomplishments,
Yeah.
but everyone's different. So.
Yeah. And they've probably morphed over the years, right? Like it started probably with like, I just talked to 5 people today.
It's a win.
Yeah. It's a win.
Yeah.
But I think you bring up something really important to a lot of real estate agents that are listening now or later, is you have to celebrate those wins.
Yes. Yep.
And pat yourself on the back at the end of the day.
Of course.
Because this business will beat you up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah. And a lot of people can't handle it. And that's why, the statistic, I know it changes every year of how many people are exiting the business and how many people aren't. But long story short, you need to celebrate those wins. I mean, it can't be like, hey, I'm going to wake up at 8:00. I'm going to, email 5 people and I'm going to go sit and watch soccer all day long. That's never been me. And that's never been the high producing agents.
Right.
You need to have that level of continuity through the day.
Yeah.
Different things. You can take your breaks, but to me at least, you need to always be prospecting new people, following up with your current people, and then actually delivering,
Yeah.
Doer, finder, keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the other thing too, though, is like the mindset is celebrate some of that stuff though. Right. Again, whatever that is like, and I think that's where people need to find their happiness.
Yeah.
Maybe it is just, talking to 5 people today.
Yeah.
And you're closing, 2 to 3 deals a month or 1 a month, whatever it is that makes you happy. Like just live in that world.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to celebrate it too. I mean, exactly. We're going back and forth, but I agree with that. I mean, you need to celebrate it. And I see so many agents, and I know you can concur, is that so many agents compare themselves to high producers.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like people coming in their first year looking at people that have been in the industry for 30 years now. And they're like, oh, why am I not getting referral business? Why am I not getting people calling me?
Yeah.
It's like, you're brand new. You
Right.
got to earn this stuff,
Yeah. Well, and I worked with Mark Z a long time, and it's a lot of people are like, oh, I want to, I'm like, Mark's been doing this for 25 years, man.
Right.
Like this isn't something new. Jeff Glover, right? Justin Ford's like they've been doing it for a long time.
Right.
This isn't something new to them, right? Like this isn't like they're just trying to break that glass ceiling. They shattered it a long time ago. And one of the things I've talked to all those guys, and one of the things they said too, it's like, yeah, I'm an overnight success. It took me 25 years to be an overnight success.
Correct.
Yeah. But you've been announced like top 30 under 30 and all the things, man. A lot of accolades coming your way.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, Real Producers out of Detroit. I'm very happy due to my constant prospecting. I actually have the largest home in Lake Orion for sale right now. And it's a beautiful thing too, because, we were just at this breakfast of champions. And people were talking about, oh, I'm 100% referral. I'm 100% sphere. It's like, that's great. That's great. You've been in the industry for 30 years.
Yeah.
But I have the mindset of, hey, if I prospect daily, as well as I am starting to get referral business now after 5 years, like literally last week, the first buyer I ever helped purchase a home put their house on the market.
Right.
So now it's full circle, right? But does that mean I should just stop prospecting for new people? No, I think the winning formula is that meeting new people, constantly prospecting, plus getting that referral business. By year 20 and 30, think about it. I'm going to have a much larger referral network, a much larger sphere I've created over the years that I didn't stop prospecting.
Right.
And that's the mentality I have. So I love it too. I mean, you never know who you're going to meet.
No, that is a big thing. But the statistic, like to your point with the referral business, is like statistically speaking, looking at the NAR stats and all the stats that I've never was a math guy, but I was always a numbers guy, if that makes sense. Like stats and statistics, and I was always a basketball guy. So like numbers are always a thing. But they say by year, if you consistently prospect, right, and meaning you don't never miss your days and you consistently prospect, by year 3 to 5, you typically can switch into a full referral business. But that's because when people buy a house, they're in it for 3 to 5 years. Right. So it's like if you sell somebody a house today, great, yay.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be at least 3 years before they decide to move again.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's what I'm saying. Now that I'm in year 5, I'm starting to see the fruits of that labor, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you have a whole different perspective being 5 years in it versus your first year.
Yeah.
Just like you have a lot more perspective than I do because of your, how long you've been in the industry, right? So it's a cool thing. It's different levels to it, and you get to reap the reward of being in, real estate so long.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it is the sphere and referral business is great because it is.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, if you could sign up on that on day 1.
Right.
sign me up.
Right.
Right. But that doesn't happen a lot, right?
No.
There's the trust. There's the thing. How was it when you first got in? Did you have a lot? So I coach a lot of agents. And so one of the questions that agents come up with a lot is like, well, I'm young, right? Or I'm new.
Right.
Did you get that a lot when you were first
Yeah,
in it?
and that's another thing. I've always loved dressing up. I don't know what it is. I like wearing 3 pieces. I always like pocket squares. I think guys that wear suits without a pocket square, what's going on? Come on, get your pocket square. But
So pocket squares, everybody, get your pocket square.
pocket
Very
squares.
important.
Oh my gosh. Just the way you walk into a house or the way you walk into that buyer, that you add on 20 years with a pocket square, okay? For you new guys and girls out there.
And not an Apple Watch. You got a watch on.
No,
Yeah.
good old-fashioned watch.
Yeah.
It's a constant reminder. I mean, like I told you in the very beginning, you only have one time to make a good first impression, and I took that very serious. So when I was a young guy meeting these buyers for the first time, or these sellers, they're interviewing guys triple, double my age. So how am I going to stand out?
Yeah.
A, how I present myself physically, how I dress, and 2, what comes out of my mouth. You have to be careful about what you say. And then some of these sellers say, Evan, you're so young, but you talk like you're 50, And I'm like, well, that's just me though. I'm not trying to be something I'm not.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, it's very important to have a good first impression. And the line I always say at listing and presentations is, hey, we have only one time to make a good first impression for your house. Let's not get it wrong.
Yeah.
But sorry, I was being off the path.
No, that's it. That's it. That's the path. That's one of the things I think is important is the good first impression, but the confidence, right? Like,
oh yeah.
I kind of coach a lot of agents, but my thing is like, you have to do the Superman pose before you get in there.
Yeah.
Like you have to come in with this confidence of you're the licensed agent. I don't care if it's your first listing appointment or your 1,000th listing appointment. You have to have that same level of confidence the first time you walk in that door.
Correct. And to sellers, it's very clear of who's confident in their numbers and who's not.
Yeah.
And yeah, you walk in there and there's no limits to yourself. You know what I mean? You walk into this house, you got to feel like I sold every other house in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Really, I flipped the script. I love going to interviews before I got in real estate. I mean, I got in real estate young, but during college, you go to interviews.
So say, when were you interviewing?
I would flip the script. Instead of them interviewing me, I'm interviewing them.
Yes.
And I always tell people, the younger, generation, I say, you're interviewing them. And one of the key questions I always like to ask is like, hey, you're trying to get the job, right? I always ask the person who works there already, what's one of the things you don't really like about working here? And that just totally changes the narrative because now I'm talking to you, not to me. And anyway, but confidence is huge, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
No, that's an important question, right?
Yeah.
That's that you, again, pattern interrupt.
Yeah.
Right. You're like,
yes.
No, I can't do this. Right. I had a buyer one time, we with the buyer's agency agreement, right? Like getting all these signed, and I had a buyer like, oh, I don't know if I want to sign it. And he's like, can I get out of it? And I'm like, well, yeah, you can get out of it anytime. I'll tear it up in front of you. I don't really care. Right. It doesn't matter. I just need you to sign it before we go look at houses.
Right.
And so he's like, oh, he's kind of him. And I go, let me ask you a question. Can I get out of it? He goes, what do you mean? I go, well, what if I decide I don't want to work with you?
Yeah.
He was like,
love it.
well, why wouldn't you want to work with me? I'm like, I don't know yet. We're just sitting down. I don't know if this is going to go right, or if you're a good fit for me or not.
Right.
And he signed it.
There you go. Yeah.
But I was like,
pattern interrupt. That's genius. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. We always have the ability as agents to walk away from the table, just like the client does, right?
Right.
And he did not expect that.
No.
He probably felt more secure about it,
Yeah. He was like, what do you mean? Why would you want to get out of it? I said, well, maybe I don't want to work with you.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But no, it's the takeaway, right? It's clients are crazy.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
And you got to figure out who you want to work with. But you're a big prospect there. You have the new listing you got to, the video you just sent out.
Yeah.
The video you put out with the Lions.
Yeah.
Was great.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. Those guys are awesome, first of all. But no, like, where is the social media game? So you're a younger guy.
Yeah.
So typically you're going to have an advantage over social media than me, because that's the world you grew up in. You know what I mean? Like, you grew up with this stuff. I'm figuring it out, like trying to figure out algorithms and everything else. And you guys are like, no, just do this. And I'm like, oh, all right.
Right. And yeah, I mean, social media is a big thing. I'm going to tell you the biggest takeaway, I think, and this is something I struggle with. Like, I have to talk to those guys to help me post, because I'm like, you know what? I don't know if this simplifies me, or what. You overthink it.
Yeah.
What happens if a seller sees this, or what happens if somebody I'm trying to get a listing from? Anyway, you can't have that worry. And it's a lot of AI stuff, but at the same time, it's helping me. But anyway, long story short, the biggest takeaway I think for social media is just a post. Just do it. And if it doesn't work out or it doesn't get the likes or comments, it doesn't matter. I only focus on the stuff I can control. What do I mean by that? You know, here's a key takeaway. If you're a new licensed agent, document your whole day. Even if you're not, even yourself, you should document your whole day. I noticed 5 years ago, very early on, thankfully, I always put hashtag nothing stops real estate at the top of all my stories on Instagram. Okay.
Okay.
And the reason I got that thinking was this: one day I was out, I'm like, I just had the craziest day ever. I wrote 2 offers while in the car. I'm driving around from Oxford all the way down to Sterling Heights and Warren, showing homes all day long. It was like a 13-hour day, 2 inspections, multiple showings, writing offers, right? I'm like, nobody knows how hard I'm working, because us real estate agents, we don't get to really showcase that until a deal closes. I'm like, nobody knows. I have all these people in my database, my friends, family, all on social media, right? I'm like, you know what? I need to start documenting my day. Pull up. I start at my feet. Everybody makes fun of me. 0.5 camera mode. Start at my feet. Pivot up to the house. Left, right, back at the house. 10 seconds. 12-second clip. Every single time. What am I doing? Showings in this city. Hashtag nothing stops real estate. And after 5 years, Jimmy, I now have people coming up to me and saying, hey, you're the nothing stops real estate guy, right?
Yeah.
And it's great. And it's so simple. But it took me 5 years, like you said, for people to actually start noticing that's my brand.
Overnight success took 5 years.
Exactly. But what I guess the key thing I always tell agents, maybe you can agree, is document your day. Showcase people. Because I've had so many people I've had the privilege of working with where they had bought their house with some other agent, but because they open up Facebook and Instagram every single morning, and whose face is there? My face, top of mind share.
Yeah.
They call me when they think of real estate.
Yeah.
That's the reality. And I think it's great.
Yeah. No, I think it's super important. And I think documenting your day, that's why everybody loved the day in the life videos, right? Like people were doing the day in the life videos for a while. But to your point, people don't know how much we do.
Correct.
Right. They assume that we just sit on a chair and drink coffee and wait for people to call us.
Correct.
Right. They don't realize that we're instrumenting and putting this whole entire thing together. Right.
Correct.
We're talking to mortgage. We're talking to title. We're talking to inspectors. We're talking to the city. We're talking to, to put a deal together. You know what I mean? Like to put one, that doesn't matter. And now if you got 3 deals going, right now I'm talking to 3 different cities. I'm talking to maybe the same inspector, maybe not. Right. Different mortgage person, different title. Like I'm all over the place.
Correct.
And it's just like, people just don't realize how much we do. You know what I mean? Like how many times do you eat dinner in the car?
Yeah, exactly. A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're driving people around because they don't work like we do, because they get off at 5 and then you got to go do showings at 6.
Right.
So it's like, how many times you eat a hot dog in the car just to settle your stomach down before you go and show at another house?
Yeah. What during my first couple of years of this is another thing back to how much I wanted things to get done or how motivated I was. I used to do vending machines. So it's so funny because in the back of my trunk, I used to keep all these chips and drinks and all that crap, right? Because after showings, I try to restock them.
Right.
My whole background is soccer, right? So at all these soccer complex fields, all the
everybody
all
buys
the kids.
Yeah.
The kids forgot their water bottle. Sisters, brothers are just running around. They want a snack. Anyway, so to your point, I'm here showing homes and all this stuff. I need a quick snack. Open up the trunk, get some vending machines food, and there you go. Back to it.
So maybe here's the next thing we invent. Maybe we put this together.
Yeah.
Is the vending machine in people's trunk.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like we'll stock it for you. We'll swing by the office. We'll get everything in there, and then it's a monthly fee.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Showing agents.
For showing agents,
yeah. Buying agents, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep. Well, nobody can copyright that. We're gonna work on that.
Yeah.
But because I have a buddy that works at Jim, and for a while they had a gas service, so they would just come by, fill your car up with gas while it was parked while you were working.
Right.
Just fill it up with gas, then you could just get a bill.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, whoever thought of that was genius.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't want their car filled as soon as you get into it?
Right.
And if it's it's cheap, whatever. I don't have to go to this gas station. I have to go. I'm working.
Yeah.
Car gets filled up, and then it just hits my credit card.
People pay for convenience. Yeah. I know it's big in the Middle East where they come to your house and fill up the car. But fascinating.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, that's a genius business idea.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. All these ideas. See, this is my problem. I got too many ideas that pop in my head, and then I'm like, I gotta slow some of these ideas down.
Right.
But no, as far as real estate goes, what
where you're at right now, where is it going to?
Yeah. So right now I'm in the process of going from being an individual agent, working these 16, 15, 18-hour days to now where I don't have as much. There's only one Evan. I can't create 5, unfortunately. I know you've tried that as well, creating 5 of yourself.
Yeah.
So I've
AI is helping me a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah.
AI is a great tool, but I've definitely started growing a team, and it's cool because I never had to recruit an agent. Everybody, agents all the time, if they follow me, they see what I'm doing. Like, hey, how can I get in this, or how can I grow my business?
It's called attraction.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it
and
is.
So with that, I've actually had the pleasure and privilege of onboarding agents working with me. I'm teaching them my scripts, my way of getting listings, and at the same time, I'm happy to be a Zillow Flex member.
Okay.
I got invited to that program, really cool program. And there it's like, hey, while you as a new agent or not a new agent are working on building up your sphere, here's some buyers you can take out.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's cool because in the morning I make them prospect. Later on in the day, as you know, appointment/showings.
Yep. Yep. That's the whole schedule, right? Like that.
Yeah.
I teach 90-day business planning, and I teach scheduling and time blocking and all that. And it's the one I've always taught, and it's one I try to stick to myself even. And I've gone in different roles, right? So I've gone completely out of production as a sales director, selling a couple, just that sphere or whatever else, not prospecting, to back to fully prospecting. Right. So it was like a whole new world. The headset went back on, like, you know what I mean? Like every day, but it's 9 to 12 is my prospecting time. 12 to 1 is my break. That's my lunch.
Yep.
And then that's usually when I do some social media stuff, because I kind of just kill those 2 birds at one time.
Yeah.
And then it's back to follow-ups. What else I got to do with current clients. And then my afternoons, evenings are either showings or appointments.
Yeah.
Like that's the rinse repeat.
Right. And it's great you say that because like you're accomplishing so much in a day with that certain schedule you follow. And a lot of agents don't have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People think that because they're real estate agents, they can do whatever they want.
Sort of, right? We love networking. We love events, right? Real estate agents, we love events. Breakfast of Champions. Thanks, Tara, for having all these events and pulling us out of our production time. But
yeah, that's right. Thank you, Tara, for making our days less productive. Just joking.
She's probably watching right now. But I think that's one of the things that tricks our mind, though, right? Is real estate agents think they're working at that time, and I'm like, you're not really working, right?
Yeah.
Like you're having bagels and coffee and just talking to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to diminish it because it does create the relationship with agents, right? There's a reason you and I are sitting in this room right now was because of a networking event, right? Like, and then we may be across this on a deal at some point.
For sure.
And so like now we have this relationship. So if I were to write an offer on a house of yours, you'd be like, oh, I know Jimmy's going to get this thing closed and it's going to be easy. It's going to be breezy, right? So it's no big deal. That's what those networking events are about. So I don't want to diminish the whole thing.
No, absolutely not.
But
yeah.
You're not really working.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think networking is important. It's the cherry on top of the sundae, who you're going to meet, the conversations you're going to have. Right. And for sure. But like measure the agent that goes to nothing but networking events versus the agent that actually prospects and feeds their database.
Yeah.
2 different results.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. So you're growing, right? Now, when you were just full production mode, was there a time did you like find an assistant? Like, did you find a transaction coordinator, or did you go buyer's agent? Like, that's always
oh my gosh.
That's always the decision, right? Where do I go here? Like, I'm so busy, and I've talked to a ton of agents that are in your spot where you start to grow and you're like, oh man, this is great. And I'm doing a lot, but I think it's also killing me.
Yeah, no, it is. And I honestly like it. I mean, there's that feeling of busy work, but then there's a feeling of productive work, right? You have to know the difference. That's huge right there, what I just said.
Huge.
But I went from single agent to transaction coordinator, which is cool. Even I'm like, I can still do this. Wrong.
Yeah.
People are blowing my phone up. Evan, where's this addendum? Where's this? Why is it like, relax, I'm at a showing right now. But no, transaction coordinator. I've actually hired my first, director of ops or admin. Shout out Ashley. And that's really helps to take a lot off my plate. It really has. And again, it always comes down to, and I've always heard very successful people say, focus on what you do best
Yeah.
And that really didn't click with me until later on. It's like, why am I trying to do all these things that obviously I could, leverage out or delegate out, right?
Right. And that is huge. I think that's a big piece of the pie for a lot of people is how do I, again, where do I go next? Right?
Right.
Is it transaction coordinator? Is it a buyer's agent? And that it's always like the question. And I don't know that there's necessarily a wrong answer for that. I always suggest transaction coordinator first because, again, we know what we're good at.
Right.
And typically, you may be different than this, but typically real estate agents are not good at paperwork.
Yeah.
Like I'm finding most agents, including myself, are just not because again, where's this addendum? Where's this? Where's that? Like, I don't know. I just told you I'd get it to you. It's
Right.
maybe tomorrow.
Right. Exactly.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
So that's the importance of a transaction coordinator to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's the way I went with transaction coordinator and that.
Yeah.
But a lot of agents find themselves when these growing periods, you got to know when to step off your own foot. What
Yeah.
I mean by that is like, oh, I got to pay $350 a file or this or that. But really in the long run, you're servicing your clients. The clients are going to know and get mad at you if you're not getting their stuff done, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's going to help you grow because you're less focused on paperwork and more focused on business.
Yeah.
And and like right now, everyone's going through different seasons. Like I am too. Now I'm going from a director of ops to like a inside sales agent, things like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's you can't try to solve it all yourself. You need to work out with the team.
Yeah. Yeah. And and a mentor.
For sure.
Right. I think a mentor, coach, whatever you want to call them, I think is a very important tool because again, somebody that's done this before, right? And I've had conversations with the top team leaders all over the place, all over the country.
Right.
And so many of them have started a team and shut it down.
Right.
Started it, shut it down. And they're usually on their third or fourth iteration of it by the time that it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you learn from your mistakes. Like there's mistakes that are made and you learn from them and have to grow. But I think that's where a mentor or a guidance or a coach or somebody can help you limit that, right?
Right. And what you just said is so important, Jimmy. And a lot of people don't get that. A lot of people, I think, have the wrong perspective about a lot of things in life until you actually do it.
True.
So building a team, I thought, oh, yeah, no problem. They're going to be producers like me. They're going to have work ethic like me. They're going to do everything.
Yeah.
Incorrect, And that's a lot of people, man plans, God laughs, right? So that's the thing. So anyway, it's.
I love that.
Yeah.
Man plans, God laughs.
Correct.
See, so I keep telling guests this, and I'm going to do it at some point when these are all recorded and they're all in the world somewhere. Yeah. But I want to do a elite real estate podcast like T-shirt line, right? So I think that could be a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Man plans, God laughs.
Yeah, I got a ton of one-liners. I hear from all people online or in person, and it clicks. You think about it, and then you're like, oh wow, I can actually relate to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great, but I see this growth happening in you. Like it's very cool to watch somebody who got into this at a young age to get in what you're in your
fifth year,
year 5 now, and you've got so much time ahead of you because of you got into it so early, and I think that's key to this game. You know what I mean? And you're one of the first people that thought about real estate before they actually got into it. Yeah. Most agents I talk to that have been on the show or that I know across the country or the world have all been like, well, I don't know. I just ended up in real estate.
Right.
Like I just ended up here. It seemed like I could just sell some things. I was a bartender. Now I'm a real estate agent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That happens, but
yeah. But I think with your finance background, I think that is a differentiator, right? Because it's like, how do you help take care of finances?
Right. For sure. Well, that's the thing too, Jimmy. I never finished college. Little hint. I was in my junior year. I was never going to graduate on time because of my credit hours, right?
Yeah.
So I was coaching soccer, going to Oakland University, then getting my real estate license. And it was in my junior year. I got my license. Senior year of college.
I like the quotes on senior year.
Senior year, even though, they
Tommy boy, stuff. Super senior.
I think whoever invented the university model is a genius.
Oh, man.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Anyway. But Tommy boy. But anyway, my senior year, I sold enough real estate, and guess what? It was my soccer sphere. Coach Evan has his license. Oh, really? Because I was coaching travel soccer on a travel level, and a lot of the families were from Rochester, right?
Okay.
So they got significant houses, things like that. Well, hey, they called me after one of my team managers gave me the opportunity and said, "Hey, I need you to come sell my parents' condo. They're moving to a retirement home." I said, no problem, And again, confidence. I could have been like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. bite off more than you can chew and then figure it out.
Yeah.
You like that one?
I
You've
love
seen
that one.
right?
Yes. Yes.
So sure enough, I did it. It sold. This is during the COVID era. So, oh my gosh, real estate was flying off the shelves during COVID.
Yeah.
And that's the perfect time to start for me. And yeah, after that, after my senior, I sold enough real estate where I said, you know what? I love this. I love deal making. I love the hustle. I love the calling. I paid off my parents' mortgage that year. And that was a way of saying, hey guys, I'm good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me. And that was my biggest accomplishment. And honestly, I think it really fast forwarded my track because, they said they respect that. We appreciate it. If you want to do real estate and drop out of school, we'll let that happen.
Yeah.
And it was a very special moment for me. Second year, bought my first duplex. And then you just kept on going, right?
Yeah.
But you got to enjoy it. I mean, I know a lot of agents, they're just, you got to have some North Star. For me, that was buying real estate, having fun with it. Hey, not only the people am I calling, am I going to list the properties, but some of the people I'm calling, I can structure a deal.
Yeah.
I've actually bought properties from the people I've called. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I went to a listing appointment and bought the house.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. Right there and then.
And then flipped it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. It was a flip. And I went in the listing appointment because of totally just going there to list it.
Yeah.
And then I called my wife on the way home. I said, I think this is our flip.
There you go. Hey, we're buying a house. Send the wire. Let me ask you this. Do you think there's a saying, and let me see if you agree with it. Do you think you're not in real estate if you're not buying real estate? What would you say to that?
Yeah, I think there's something to that, right? I think there's something to that point. Now, you don't have to be a savvy investor and own 30 rental properties, right?
Of course not. No.
But then I also look at it as this. We talked about coaching a little bit, right? And you're a soccer coach. And I think one of the things that we look at is, well, if you haven't done this, or if you only just bought one house, like how can you sell others, right? But like, let's look at the Van Gundys in basketball. Like, how much did they actually play? But they were NBA coaches.
Right.
You know what I mean? Phil Jackson played in the NBA, so he's one of the one-offs. But for the most part, really good coaches and people who guide people aren't necessarily the Michael Jordans, right? Like Michael Jordan's a terrible coach. I love Michael. Michael's my guy. But he could never coach, because the problem is when you're that level,
right,
you just say, well, just do this.
Right.
It's like, well, I can't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, now I can eventually get there, maybe. Right. So I think with practice, I think agents who can build up, I think agents should start buying real estate, because that's another financial lift. But I think, you know what I mean? I think they need to get savvier with it.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And I agree with that. I think, I don't like the people that say, oh, if you're in real estate, but you don't own houses or investments, that's wrong. But at the same time, I think that there's got to be that desire to understand real estate at the fully level. I mean, when you're operating, whether it's single family or multifamily, you have a better understanding.
Yeah,
for sure. People
sure.
come to me like, hey, I'll buy a rental property from you because you can put a tenant and all that in there. Oh, you can do that? I didn't know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the knowledge, right? That's the biggest thing. So Al Abdallah said he reminds me of me when I started 30 years ago, and he will be a rock star forever in the business. He said, I remember being in Al was the judge when you were in the ring at the show.
He was. He gave me some good feedback, Al. So I'd like to have you come in Jimmy's podcast room with me.
He's sort of here.
Oh, is he?
He's watching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's watching. He's watching live. But no, I think but to your point, I think that yes, I think they should know that.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that agents, as they are building their business, should either get into investing. Right.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because let's just be honest. Real estate investing just makes sense.
Oh yeah.
There's probably not a better, and I know we've all been, well, you haven't been, but we all went through the crash, right? Like in 2006, 2008. Like, I mean, it was bad. Like, it was really bad. So short sales and people just leaving their house, but taking everything with them, including the plumbing and the sink. And just, you'd go into a house. It was like, well, it was just like bare walls. It was like, well, somebody left the house and they stopped paying on it. Right. And just left a bare bones house. But I don't see that happening again. You know what I mean? Like, that's happened once in our lifetime.
Right.
You know,
and of course, I was like 9 years old and just playing Xbox 360 in my parents' basement at that time. So
what was the hot game at that point?
Oh my gosh, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare.
Oh
2,
yeah,
the best Call of Duty ever.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And at the time, Call of Duty Black Ops 1, playing zombies. That was one of my favorite things. Yeah.
You know what I was a big fan of? So because my son is 22, my oldest is 22. So I was a big fan of Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah,
Guitar Hero was awesome.
That's during the Wii. The Wii, you
Yeah,
could have
the
Guitar
Wii.
Hero on
Yeah,
the Wii.
we had the Wii, and I had the jailbroken Wii. So
What?
yeah, we had every game.
I didn't know you could jailbreak those.
Yeah, we had
Oh,
every game on that thing.
oh, let's go back in time so I can jailbreak mine. So
I still have it. It's
Really?
still it's still at the house.
oh, there you go. I still have my Xbox 360,
Yeah,
Modern Warfare 2 edition. Yeah.
you still get it out every once in a while.
Oh yeah. Well, it's there. I don't get it out. But
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah,
It'll be worth something one day.
yeah. You need to break it out one day and just be like and just sit down and maybe on a day like a Saturday or Sunday. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the graphics back then. I mean,
how did Evan's career fall apart? Well, Jimmy told him to start playing Xbox again.
Yeah,
and-
thanks, Jimmy. I'm on the Xbox 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Prospecting.
You're just on Twitch, just filming yourself on
Yeah.
Xbox 360.
I could play Xbox while dialing. How about that? There you go.
You could. I mean, that's
I get two
possible.
different focuses though. But
Sort of.
yeah.
I mean, you're taking shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
there you
that's
go.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think where do you see our market going? You're a market savvy guy. So where do you see the market going?
Market savvy guy, but I didn't graduate.
That's right.
That's okay. You don't need all those. You don't need those diplomas to have an opinion. Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah.
But
I got another comment about that. We'll say it later, but
okay. Yeah. I know which way we're going with that. But I don't know. I mean, 2008. Listen, I wasn't obviously a real estate agent practicing at the time, but I've been around enough guys, enough investors, enough Italian builders
yeah.
to know that was a really stressful time, man. And what they have always told me was, Evan, what happened was obviously builders overbuilt. There was not enough demand, but so much supply.
Yeah.
And that's why everybody was getting loans for free. You get a loan, I get a loan. That's my understanding. I could be wrong historically, but I don't think we're in that problem. I think the problem right now, what I see right now is that there is a lack of inventory.
Yeah.
There's a high demand. Builders will never make the same mistake again. They overbuilt back then when money was free because everybody was getting loans. Makes sense, right? If people got the money, I want to go do it. Anyway, I see the opposite. I don't think it's going to be a housing correction. I think there's a lot of stuff going on in the economy, things like that. I'm not an economist. But I think that the reason why multifamily guys and all these guys who are renting get so much rent money is because there's not enough houses.
Yeah.
So of course people are going to go pay $2,500 a month for 1,000 square foot apartment.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, that is the issue. And the real squeeze, and again, we're in the Metro Detroit area, but the real squeeze is that 200 to 400, right? 200 to 400,000.
Yeah.
That's where the real squeeze is right now.
Yeah.
Like there's just not enough inventory there.
No.
Right. And the first time home buyer is in that spot, right? That's their spot. And it's like there's not and I the rates are holding people, I think, in that spot.
Right.
There's a hesitation of do I move now? Do I not? Do I upsize? Right. That's where I'm seeing a lot of there's not a lot of upsizing.
Right.
It's kind of like lateral. Nobody's really going from the 400 to the 700.
Correct. Well, it's a big jump.
Yeah.
I mean, first off, you're talking about first time home buyer. Obviously, you know the stats better, but the average first time home buyer age wise, I don't know. What is it in the 30s now?
30s now, yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Well, it's affordability. So by the time they actually get to accomplish buying their first house, yay, in the 2s, 3s, and 4s, imagine what it's going to take to actually upgrade or upsize to the next. It's just, it is what it is. And a lot of younger people complain, and of course, maybe they have the right to do so, but I think that just has to make you more of a savvier buyer.
Yeah.
You have to be savvier with what you're doing with your finances, right?
Yep. Yep. Our California listeners right now are laughing at us because we're talking about $200,000 houses.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Out in California, 1.2 starter house, 1.2. So,
yeah. I'm like, man, it's like 2 a year and you're good in California.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's unbelievable, but yeah.
Yeah. But I do see like that there is a squeeze there. And I had a conversation with the builder and I said, look, why don't you guys just build a bunch of $300,000 houses?
Right.
You guys are building $700,000 houses like crazy. Why don't you build a $300,000 house? And the money is just not there. Like it doesn't make sense for them financially.
Right.
The margins are so thin.
Right.
That they're like that we make zero money on that.
Right.
Like by the time we pay for materials and labor and cement and all the other, they're like the margins are so thin at a $300,000 new build.
Right.
That it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing too, because you like right around Troy, you see all these 7s, 8s, and 9s.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder, right? Who's buying these? But
just drive up Hayes, right, and go to 23 Mile, and it's 700. Like, and that's the base.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense though. What was I going to say with that? I've seen some developers too, where I think it's smart. I see like in Texas, they'll build a community and then they'll dictate the own interest rate because they know everyone talks about interest rates, the one thing we can't control, but everybody loves talking about, right? And they'll say, hey, you buy this house and we'll give you the financing at 5%.
Yeah.
And they're controlling the mortgage and the house, right? So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody doing that around here.
Yeah.
Unless I just don't know about it.
Maybe that's your new idea. Maybe that's your idea.
I don't know. There you go. So,
And any builders out there, call Evan. He's got an idea.
yeah. I think that's smart, but I don't know. But maybe there's a reason why. You never know.
Right. I think one of the biggest things that we're seeing here too, and I've seen it in a few of my deals, is the uncapping of taxes.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Taxes are tripling, quadrupling.
Yeah. Put this on record. I think that first-time home buyers, any buyers, issue shouldn't be focused on real interest rates. Should be focused on property tax. Everybody loves talking interest rates all day long. Nobody looks at property tax.
Yeah.
You're paying the same amount of property tax as your interest on your mortgage.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Or more
on
your taxes.
For sure.
Right. I had a guy that we sold it, but I was the list side, but the taxes went up to almost $12,000 a year.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's another house payment.
Right.
Right.
Right. And that's why we have this affordability thing going on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because there's people too that don't want to sell because of my 2% interest rate at my $2,300 property tax a year.
Yeah.
Bill. Yeah. And that kind of locks up things. So something's got to give.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. I think what Florida's doing is interesting.
Yes.
They're trying to get rid of the property tax altogether. But they're such a destination state.
Right.
We're not.
Correct.
Right. So it doesn't fit everywhere.
Right.
So I think that's a issue that we're going to face there has to be maybe we should go to legislation. You and I, maybe we should run for Congress. But I think there has to be some sort of legislation of like, you can't just totally uncap these taxes, right? There should be a limit of how much you can add into this.
Right.
Right. I don't care if you've lived in the house for 50 years. Right. And I realized when you bought it 50 years ago, what the value is compared to what it is today.
Right.
But you also can't hit me for that much money when it uncaps. That was the issue we had on the one house. The taxes almost quadrupled because the guy was the original owner.
Right. And that's
he
what
built
happens.
it 52 years ago.
Well, let's talk about this too. When buyers are looking on Zillow and it says, hey, your tax is only $3,000 a year.
Yeah.
They get excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, actually,
They're
by the way, your
10.
taxes are going to be $10,000.
Yeah.
So now you don't like the house. Now you can't even afford it.
Yeah.
So that's a big conversation right there. It's almost like, hey, it's kind of like a false advertisement in a way, but
it's what it is. It's the small print.
Yeah.
Right. You can lease a car for $99 a month.
Yeah.
If you have all these other things.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
you walk out of the dealership and your payment's $500, you're like, what happened to the $99 one?
Yeah. No, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think property tax is a huge thing to talk about and something needs to be done big time.
Yeah.
And it's not even just the younger generation.
No.
It's even, the older. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Something's got to give.
Yep.
So I don't come up with the solution yet. Like you said, some states are abolishing that property tax or
Yeah.
uncapping, things like that. But like you said, that there's so much tourists. So we have to figure it out.
I mean, because I had another client that they were going to downsize into a condo. They're
Right.
older, downsize into a condo because their bedrooms are all upstairs. So we went and looked at we did taxes and she's like, oh my God, my taxes are going to be
Higher.
I'm like, I know, but you've been in your house for 50 years. You know what I mean? Like your taxes are $4,000 in Macomb. Like that's not realistic either. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like that's not realistic either. So there's got to be some sort of fix for it. And if we need a financial guy, but it's not me.
Right. Yeah. Or me. But yeah, get on with the times though. Like that makes us agents have to be more skilled set of how to handle that objection. You're telling me I'm moving, I'm downsizing, but my tax bill is going to be higher for half the square footage, half the bedroom count, etc.
Yeah.
You got to know how to handle that question.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's important. And so how do you stay in touch with all that? Like are you a reader?
I'm a reader, but I think you learn most from your experience. Experience
Yeah.
is all. So again, I handle new conversations every day, new objections. But then again, what do you do with that information? You got to address it, but you got to educate yourself. So yeah, reading's good.
Yeah.
Maybe listening to, like you said, you can really fast forward your career talking to people in the business that are experienced already. So I could come to you and say, hey, Jimmy, what do you think about this? This guy told me this. How would you answer it?
Yeah.
Or what's your knowledge on this? I think that's one of the best things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's a testament to what you've done. I think that's what has sped you up.
Right.
Is this idea of like you do ask questions.
Yeah.
Right. So many agents and entrepreneurs in general want to just do it on their own. You know what I mean? Like they get this, I'm just going to do this. And it's like, well, that's great. And I believe in you, but I already made those 3 mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, how can I help steer you around some of those mistakes, right? And one of the things I always tell my coaching clients is that, like, I can be your motor, but I can't be your steering wheel.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Love that. Yeah.
It's like I can't force you to work harder.
Right.
You have to do that, but I can steer you around everything. You know what I mean? Like, I can help steer you around some of the bumps that are going to come, but I can't make you get there any faster. That's all going to come from you.
Right.
Right. And so that's where the testament to you is like, you motored through it. Right. And you got through it, but you ask a lot of questions.
Yeah. Full steam ahead, but you always got to learn. Asking questions,
Yeah.
Is very important. And yeah, I like you just said, makes a lot of sense because, you coach people and a lot of agents think they've got to figure it out and then reality next,
Yeah.
So yeah. And again, you can't be naive because I could sit here and learn 3 things from you and not make that same mistake. And that's a huge gain for me. It's a time collapse. I just fast forward my career.
Yeah.
But a lot of agents want to have to know it all mentality. I'm not saying everybody, but there's some agents out there that they rather make that mistake than just learn from somebody else.
Yep. And again, if you think about just the confidence that you have to ask the questions, because I always say there's no such thing as a stupid question.
Right.
The stupid things happen when you don't ask the question.
Yeah. Like that's a good one too.
Yeah, the stupid things happen when you don't ask the question, because then if you would have just asked me first, you could have just opened the door.
Right.
Instead, you ran into it 3 times before I just said turn the handle.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I could have made that a lot easier on you.
Yeah.
Because I ran into the door 3 times before. You know what I mean? Like I did it. So let me help you get through there.
Yeah. No, it's very important too. And there's a level of like what we talked about earlier where it's like, hey, I'm going to bite off more than I can chew and figure it out, but also ask questions.
Yeah.
You can't make yourself look silly. I mean, you can and you will, but try to avoid that. And I mean, listen, when I first got into real estate, I didn't know, I wasn't certain of something. So I'm asking the listing agent. Some of these listing agents, when I'm representing buyers, are like, what are you doing? You got to do this and that. I'm like, listen, man, you want to make this deal happen or not? I'm new to the industry. You're going to help me or not? But I have the level of confidence to voice that. Whereas a lot of agents like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. No, you want to make this deal happen, Jimmy? Let's sit down. Let's talk about it.
I love that.
And of course, I'm not, you're not going to persuade me to have your client benefit over mine.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, listen, you got to have an open hand,
Yeah. Well, so much of what we do is putting deals together.
Of course.
Like that's the art of it. Right. It's not all, they're not all smooth. I wish they were all easy.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I was just having a conversation with some agents last night. And so they wrote a contingent offer, but the house that they wrote on, they have a contingent offer accepted on another one.
It's a domino effect.
There's like 3 contingent offers all just hanging out there.
Right.
And now they're going to have to extend closing because the contingency's it's not sold yet. So like they got to push. So I'm like, well, that's the art of putting the deal together.
Right.
Right. It's just having open, transparent conversations with your clients, telling them, hey, this is what happens. We're good.
Right.
But we have a little bit of a domino here.
Right. Exactly.
And
addressing expectations. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but some agents have a hard time just saying what it is.
Yeah.
Say what it is. It might not be what your client wants to hear, but you're saying what it is, and they're going to respect you, and the transaction is going to go so much smoother.
Yeah. I love that. And one of the things that, and you can probably hone in on this too, is I'll have agents say to me, well, wow, my client's going to be really upset about this. Like, how do you know if they're going to be or not?
Yeah.
Did you talk to them yet? Well, no, but I'm like, see, you said but. So when you tell me but, that means you're worried that they're going to be upset about this. They may just be like, okay.
Right.
But until you give them the information, we don't know anything.
Correct. Yeah. And you cannot just say yes, yes, yes. My favorite word is no. No, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
Trust me, with my experience in this situation, one of the biggest things for handling objections to me or not just, having to tell your client the right thing to do is like, hey, I just helped another client in the same situation you are, in the same timeline you are, and this is what we did.
Yeah.
And by them hearing that, it's like, wow. So not only do I have more trust for my agent, but it means he's gonna steer me through these things.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's huge.
Yeah.
And again, the transparency, just being honest with your clients.
Yeah.
And in a sense, I always say like we're like the shield for our client too. Like we're the gladiator, like holding up the shield for our client. But at some point, like I've had to do this, like here.
That's right.
Take a look at this. This is what I'm doing over here, right?
All these arrows coming at me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm dealing with?
Yeah. Like I've literally like forwarded an email chain, you know what I mean, to a client.
Right.
And they're like, oh man, I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm doing, right? Like this is I try to shield you from this, but here's a little peek behind the curtain of what's going
Yeah,
on, right? Like
yeah,
I'm holding this deal together for you,
yeah.
because there's so many people. I'm just gonna walk away. I don't want this offer. I'm like, yeah, you do, because we're not going back to market. Like you don't want to go back on market. We're gonna click this close. It's gonna take an extra day or two.
Right.
Like I get it. You're emotional, but let's just settle in here. Relax.
Yeah. And that's a key thing to do it. I mean, I can look back from a couple times where, you listen to your client a little bit too much and the deal falls apart. And then
Mhm.
it's like, oh wow, Ivan, I wish you would have told me. Well, you told me this,
Yeah.
but that's why you learn and
Yeah.
you grow from those.
Yeah. And thinking of the AI thing too, there was just a big story. I think it was last week that 2 attorneys were both using like ChatGPT,
Hmm.
and it killed both of them, like because it was telling them the opposite of what they were looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so again, that AI tool is great,
Right.
but also whatever you're putting in is it's just giving you information.
Right.
It shouldn't be your answer.
Right. Believe it or not, Jimmy, I just had a buyer who thought, based on his ChatGPT experience, the ChatGPT degree, that he could go and buy a house, no problem. He thinks that he could go to a seller and say, "Hey, I'm going to represent myself with ChatGPT, and then just waive the 3% that you would have paid a buyer's agent and give me that 3% off on the price." And this was a referral from an agent up in Traverse City to me. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a fun conversation.
Yeah.
So what we did, we set up a time, sat down on a phone call, talked to him the whole process, give him examples, expectations. And then he's like, oh, you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah.
You really got to explain it though. But again, the world's ever evolving.
Yeah.
AI is changing people's reality of what they think, what we do versus what we actually do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What are you doing with AI in your team right now?
AI helps me write emails. Okay, time block my day, follow-ups, big time, just reminders, things like that. You can use AI for posts and things like that. It's also good to have your own voice in it instead of ChatGPT's voice. What else? Just a lot of data stuff.
Yeah.
Helping me organize numbers, who I've hit. Information is a big part of ChatGPT.
Yep.
Instead of me trying to do my own due diligence. You got to be careful though.
Yeah.
Can be inaccurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to double check it.
Yeah.
Right. Like you have to double check it. And what's like systems processes? How has that changed for you over the first 5 years?
A lot of the small tedious stuff. I mean, especially for like my TCs and admins, like just communicating through me. As far as AI, is that what you're referring to?
Anything, any systems, right? Like whether it's CRMs. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. CRM. We had to get it with Zillow with Follow Up Boss.
Yep.
That's who we've been using. I was a big believer I could make a multi-million-dollar business with just Google Excel sheet for free. It's so funny when I gave my admin my list of past deals in Sphere. She's like, send it to me. I'm like, all right. So I downloaded it from she's like, you've been collecting this into Google Sheets? I'm like, yeah. What's wrong with that?
Made sense to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I first started off with a whiteboard.
Yeah.
That kind of grew out too fast, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, using a CRM very important. I didn't believe it when agents are like, "Hey, if you just keep track of everybody and feed that database, that's half the job."
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And I thought I was naive. That's something I should have listened to early on.
Right.
But I went back and I finally got all my past contacts and records.
Yeah, that's huge.
Oh, big time.
That's huge.
Yeah.
What? So you coach soccer? Are you still coaching soccer? Or no,
I stopped last year.
You retired?
Yeah, I retired. Exactly.
Did you leave your cleats at midcourt?
No, I wish.
Midfield, yeah, whistle cleats midfield and just walk away.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Because I coach and I'm still coaching.
Yeah.
But what has that taught you about this business?
Oh my gosh. Well, one, voicing your opinion, very extroverted. My opinion, my voice, everything. But also, you're going to get a lot of flack. What I mean by that is you're going to get a lot of people telling you're in the wrong, their opinion. It's, like you said, shielding your client. I'm shielding myself from all these stuff I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And I started off as a referee first. Oh my gosh. You want to fast forward your life in sales? Go be a referee in youth travel sports. Basketball, soccer, it doesn't matter.
No, everybody's getting beat up now. Like,
oh gosh. And I give credit to these younger refs and coaches out there. I give them credit, but I'll tell you what, I said, listen, you have grown adults yelling and screaming at you. This is actually a really good thing.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm like, you know why? Because you're taking all this criticism and all this critical thing. So when you're older, you're going to have a natural shield around you.
Yeah.
For how you feel and controlling your emotions.
Yeah.
And I give them so much credit. I think it's the best thing you can do as a young individual reffing or coaching a sport.
Yeah. You want to learn how to shut out the noise?
Yes.
Go referee a game.
Yes. Do it.
Go referee a
And
game.
it's helped me big time. Keeping my composure. Keeping the cool.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, as we're wrapping up here, where can everybody find you?
Instagram at Bassy_sells, evanbassy.com, and Bassy and Co. Is my team. So yeah, find me on there. Just search Google Evan Bassy.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming on and joining us this morning. I'm creeping into your prospecting time right now. So
Oh, good, man.
yeah.
This is prospecting.
But I love it, man. And I thank you for joining me this morning and coming in. Breakfast Clubbers, thanks for joining. If you're listening now or later, make sure you're liking and subscribing to the YouTube channel at the Elite Edge Network on YouTube, or find the Elite Real Estate Podcast wherever you find podcasts. We will be back next week, guys, with a new guest, and we'll see you then. Evan, thank you, my man, for coming in.
Pleasure. Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week.